Hello, good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me here for another Saints and Angels Oracle deck reading. It's the first reading for February. Today is February 7th and 2025 in case you're not watching live. Don't worry, messages are still for you. As we know, time's not relevant in the way that we think it is. So welcome anyone and everyone watching. It's been a difficult task getting going this morning, I'm not going to lie. I've tried to get started a couple different times, and it's just different disruptions and things happening and interruptions. And I'm on my phone, of course. It's always uncomfortable for me when I'm trying to record on my phone. My laptop camera's not working. But this is the chunk of time that I have, and so I really am working to not feel rushed and just sit down, settle down, and get to what we want to do here, and have a wonderful receiving messages, right? Sometimes things are difficult. Today is a difficult day. And this is one thing that's great about this sort of weekly practice and weekly commitments and having this ritual, sort of, a space of communion and communication, gathering, and also accountability, responsibility, and that word commitment comes up again, Not in a negative sense either. A lot of people hear that and they feel a burden of sorts, and I don't mean it in that way at all. In fact, sometimes when the small commitments seem burdensome to me or cumbersome, or I feel a bit weighed down in them, I find my strongest points then. I find out I'm really grateful for those points after I persevere through. So even in those times, I can't hate on them because I know, it's difficult. I'm pushing through. I'm exercising a muscle in a way that feels, exhaustive, not to a detrimental sense at all, not to the point where I'd be like exhausting myself completely, depleting resources, but that good stress that you get, that exhaustive pumping feeling you get when you work a strong muscle, it happens, that's, but it's a good stressor, and that's the way that I like to think of it. That's the way that when these days and weeks and practices, times of my practice come up, and also when external things are really poking at it at the same time, it's not even so much as I feel an internal cyclitic kind of accumulation that would become exhaustive or make the work harder. It's just regular old work, it's just regular push-ups. But for some reason, I feel like, I got somebody jump on my back. I got distractions over here. This thing's happening, there's lots of external things that are accumulating on top of what I'm already doing, so that's, but at the same time, I tell myself what a great exercise it is of diversity, of a correct kind of inclusion and equality, that all things can happen, and that when they do, how do you choose to incorporate through them? How do you face them? That choice, the mindset, the energetic shifts and alchemy that become available for you to persevere through positive gratitude, acceptance, capability, these foundational building blocks that make us stronger, and they're necessary for growth. You can't grow a muscle without tearing it, it's the way that growth happens. And now I've sort of blabbed on, for 4 minutes, and I'm on my phone. Oh, this is going to be, hopefully not take too long to upload. But yes, so that's a bit of an update of my own for myself and for everyone, to sort of clear the air and to prepare, like I said, to do what we've come to do, which is sit down, clear the slate, become a good audience, great receivers here, the antennas that we are, the multi-dimensional type of prismatic receptors and transmitters, really, that we are, right? We can sit down, focus on that for a minute, get clear and receive our messages. We'll have a new theme for this whole month of February, so we can really detach and move through the last theme of January of the devil, and see what we're transitioning into, and have a great saints or angel to guide the way in this week here. So I'm super excited to see what's to come. Let's sit down and do a little grounding meditation quickly to just become heart-centered and, like I said, a good, gracious audience. I'm going to close my eyes and lead us in a little bit of breathing and visualization to just get centered. Like I said, it's not kind of hypnosis where if you're doing something else, it's going to be, take over your conscious awareness or anything like that. Feel free to just become more consciously aware of whatever you're doing in the moment, if you are doing something else, and just listen and let the words and the message of relaxation wash over you and permeate through it in the cracks and crevices, versus really trying to close your eyes and detach from reality if you can't right now, or if that's not your thing. But I'm going to close my eyes and settle down, taking a few conscious, relaxing breaths. Feel free to do so at your own pace and time, to sit or get comfortable if you'd like. Closing the eyes and releasing the mind. Just putting that closed sign up or on a break out of the office. Turn it on, kick your feet back, put your arms maybe behind your head. Let that boss take a break. Up in the mental space, the mind's eye, all of the processing, thinking, the transmitting, it all shuts down, quiets down. Hit the lights maybe. Take a deep sigh of relaxation. It's a well-earned break, my friends. Don't worry. Give that to yourself. Know it deep inside. And if you need a reminder, well, here it is out loud. From me to you. And from me to myself even. For a lot of times, I need this to be said. You can rest. You've done enough. You've done more than enough, in fact. So, take a break. Drop into the very moment of now. Notice what it feels like to be alive. The air quality, the sounds around you, the temperature of the room. The smells, perhaps. Notice the quality of your breath. Not really trying to change it or make it something, but instead just witnessing and observing what it is in this moment, and now, in this moment. Each breath, each moment, afresh, anew. Let it be. Allow it, and it will show you the way. Hear it as it goes and allow it, however it needs to flow, to find a gentle ease. Something free and unique. Each inhale and each exhale, totally different, and yet it's all the same. Let that quietness and peace from the lungs permeate up to peace in the mind. Let the peace of the mind permeate down to peace in the heart. Allow that peace in the heart to permeate further, soaking all the way down to the roots, allowing peace, stability, security to be flooded, quenched, to be filled, whatever way, in any way that feels right and best to you. Feel it creating a wonderful warm sensation spreading out from the bottom like a puddle, even the bottom of a bubble building. Feel it stretching out like the horizon and rising up to reach the crown of the head, connecting and merging and flowing downwards through the center, through that mind space again, through the throat, down to the heart, through the chest and abdomen, through that solar plexus and down deeper further into the fires of the sacral chakra, quenching and igniting down back to the roots and creating, interlinking, beautiful bubble, sphere, any shape really. Could be 5-dimensional sacred geometries, a tetrahedron. It could be platonic solid of other sorts, or just a wonderful circle. For all is held still in that beautiful shape, simplistic, whole, one. Let that oneness permeate through you, solidifying you, your one vision, your one life, your one self, with your purpose, your role here, your set and setting. Link it with your breath, with each breath, that one inhale and one exhale. For we can only do one thing at one time. Let it be alive, let it be conscious, be consciously aware in every action and transaction. Every breath will help us remember and guide the way. So breathe into that knowing, give great gratitude for it. Maybe bring your hands together in prayer or at your heart. Just feel them more firmly in your lap. Give thanks for your physical self and body, for embodying this practice in time, mentally, and for also giving your energy, your spirit here. I thank you so much for joining me as we become a gracious audience here. Really expressing and testing our attention here. Thank you for joining me. Let's wiggle our fingers and toes and prepare to return to the moment as I ring my bell. Perfect timing. Celebratory jingle there. Ah, well, here we go. First, as always, we'll take out my tarot deck here, and we'll see what we have for a theme, what we can bring forth to learn through for February. We've already kicked it off to a bit of a fiery fiery start. I guess I'm not going to try to go on about that. Let's try to move into the future here. Leave the past as it lies, not give it over attention that it doesn't deserve, right? Its time is served, and let's be moving through cycles and changing, or getting ready for newness, right? So as we prepare here, I'd like to just thank the cards for their attention and time. Thank you for your audience, all of those beings, our ancestors, ascended masters, higher selves, those beings of higher density with benevolence, positivity, unconditional love in their hearts, who witness our journey here, who are as much a part of the journey here as we are. We thank you for your energy and attention, and we ask you if you would love to speak through these cards to impress upon us messages of guidance or support, advice for this month of February in 2025 for us as a group, as a collective, and individually, those energies or themes which we could look to here in this month to come. We thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, shuffle my cards up here a bit. Whoops. Let me put them down and shuffle them my old school way. I feel like that's going to be good. Oh, perfect card. 5 of Cups. Wow. And it to me, I picked it up reversed. What a perfect card for today's energy in general. For myself, with intentions wanting to be great, social expectations, and all the things that we do with others, for others, feeling like we have everything good and stacked, like the 4 tends to bring us to be. We have them, and we have the 5th one put on top. Oh, and we've dropped them all. Yeah, you know, but we have some. Don't forget what you have there, you know, left to work with, and don't have too much focus. Don't be crying over spilt milk too much. You know, things have their purpose, and lessons to be learned here as to, you know, what our capabilities are and what they are not. But yeah, like I just started talking about before, you know, the cards really heard me. And a resonant message for this month. You know, these are the energies of this month. And to come out of January, in the new year, in the way that the flavorings are going for the completion year, let's remember we're under this great scope of the 9, and where the collective energies are at too for this message, right? This is really about these ones left over behind here, right? It's about the what's left and making the best with what we have and being grateful in that action and renewed, in fact, seeing this as that which no longer serves or wasn't presented correctly or wasn't firm enough in the first place. So why waste time and energy now, extended extra time, grieving and creating, a lot of thought energy and focus over what's happened and why, and the past, and the sort of doneness here. It's over and done. And if instead we remember what we have and pick our head up and keep moving, even pick those cups up because they can be refilled. This is, something that perhaps is easily refilled and put back together, But the fact is that how we choose to look at that, our energy, the movement through it, how we pick ourselves back up is the thing that counts, is what we're being marked on, is the test, is the quality of the alchemy, and what light and shadow work is really about. It's not about the actual mistake that's already happened. That negativity has already happened. It's done and over with. It's now what we choose to do after it and move through it that really counts. And of course, I love this with the birds flying free over here in the distance. It's like, if he'd only look up, or she'd only look up and remember flight, remember newness, innovation, life goes on. What wonderful, strong messages, especially for a whole month to know ahead of you to work through, So let's hear about this week here to come with our saints and angels, and have some work to hearken into, perhaps a chorus to link in, to work through these days here to come in, what is the second week of February, but really it'll be our first week under this theme to acknowledge and work through, and for our wonderful saints and angels to speak on and speak through, for new work to incorporate and new perspective to look at old work with, even, So yes, of course, we'd love to thank you uniquely. Wonderful deck. We ask for your individual impressions upon all that has been said, upon the collective and individually here for our week to come on February 7th. If you'd like to give us or pinpoint out points of stability or tools we could use to work with, to engage with, to create more strength around, or ways that we could support ourselves in the work we're doing, we're so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll shuffle up a wonderful deck here. Give it a few moments. I think I'll put these down as well and do my old ways of shuffling. Whoops, they feel a little blocky. I might give it a knock and cut. Believe with Saint Hildegard. I love her. I love her resonance. I love her music, her messages. This image with the almost mandala angels around here and the fractal representation of the many within the whole, and how the whole come together to represent something, an arc, a circle, something so much different than even the angels are, right? And and yet the angels are it, because around each angel's head is the arc, is the halo, and it's the overall message of the whole is locked within the image, in a pun, in a play on words, in a mystery, it's been in your face the whole time, and yet you missed it. How could we miss the nose on our face? And yet you don't see it when you look out your eyes every day, right? So we need to believe and remember in the magic. We need to believe and remember in ourselves in what's to come, in the overall whole, in what we are a part of, in the messages of the whole. I think I might even just read quickly out some of the messages from the book here, in case there's any terms or tag phrases that stick out to anybody. I'm at 25 minutes. Maybe actually I won't. I'm gonna leave it there. I will put the blurb up with those tag phrases. So if you're interested in that, you can check my Telegram. Might put them up on the community tab in YouTube as well, in case you're watching me over there. If it's BitChute, you'll have to find me elsewhere because they don't have a share like that. Sorry for that if you are finding me there. But otherwise, yeah, find me there, guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.